With the exciting news of a new Beyblade game and TRICERAPRESS, we've got a lot of news and information to discuss on Beyblade X, so I do want to say if you are excited as well and like bays that spin, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts. And as well, Mala Bays, we have pre-orders up for TRICERAPRESS. It's an optional way to support the channel. I appreciate any support regardless. We are Canadian based and we import from Japan. So as per usual, I'll have timestamps somehow appear on the screen right here. So let's kind of recap on TRICERAPRESS, since this is the June release, which releases right at the end of June. What is it, June 28th or whatever? So with TRICERAPRESS, we do actually have a little bit more of information. So we'll go over it as it goes through the part-by-part breakdown. We do got HD images of the actual blade. So I did talk to my good friend Crazy, who did actually kind of do rough estimates that it's been pretty accurate before based on model information that he was able to kind of see. And more or less, the weights for this TRICERAPRESS should be close to 37 grams. I think it's like 36.8 or something. If it's going to be a hefty blade, it would make sense anyways when you look at the prongs and a little bit of the metal placement. If it's above 35, I already think that's interesting. You don't need to be super heavy, but it doesn't really hurt. I will be curious to see what the final weight ends up being. For the most part, their guesses have been really close. They're usually right around the ballpark, maybe slightly less or slightly more. So we'll eventually see once this actually comes out. In terms of its actual design, I do think it's an interesting design. I know some will say, oh, this is kind of too close to Leona Claw. Only in the sense that it's five-sided. Otherwise, it's not really much else. It looks interesting. I think this will be pretty cool to see if it can actually just do defense and parry. If it's got a heavy weight, it can just maintain a good posture. It should be able to probably do fine. I do probably suspect this will maybe be closer to regular defense, where it kind of just sits still rather than a lot of counter defense stuff, which is something that Golem Rock basically is. Then after we have 585. So I asked Crazy what the estimated weight should be, and he said it should be like, I think it's like close to 11 or something, like 10 point whatever. And the thing, again, it'll probably be on the screen, but if it's going to be that heavy, that's quite a bit. And we'll eventually have to see once this actually releases. But the original one was like super light. It was like 4 grams or something, really. But if it's like 10, whatever, that'd be the heaviest ratchet out. But being super heavy, but at that whole height, that's where I'm a little bit curious on. Just because 385 wasn't really used much and was really easy to burst and lose. So again, with 585, there is the weight there. But I don't know how easy it's going to be to burst or whatever. But even then, I'm just trying to think, like, what blades could benefit from that super tall height and whatever. Maybe Silver Wolf, if I was trying to think. I don't really know what you'd use on 85 height. It's an interesting idea to put metal. That's what I want to say for sure. Even if it ends up being shed or whatever, it's good to see them experiment with more of these concepts and ideas. And then after we just got the HD image of Bound Spike, I think Bound Spike's a pretty solid defense bit. Doesn't have crazy stamina, but is very good defensively, I would say. It's really fun to use. Not perfect, but I do like to use it. We're supposed to apparently get like a pink jaggy frame or whatever. It's probably going to be some like bonus on like the Corocoro next month. Moving on from there, we have Beyblade Evo Battle. So this is going to be a Nintendo Switch game that releases like mid-November. Also on Steam or whatever, all that stuff. So we did actually get a little bit of a trailer and a gameplay, so I'm assuming more or less this should be very similar to the first game. My only wish list is I just hope they kind of improve on like the basic fundamentals. Like I would love to see, even though the game does have voice acting, like more in the actual story. That would be really nice to see. I would love to see an English actual dub. It's great we got localization, but I don't really think they went to the full extent. What else is there that I would like to see out of it? I would love to see an arcade mode where you can actually play as like the main, like you can play as like Jackson and you can battle against Multi or whatever. That would be really nice. I would love to see them kind of expand a lot on what they already kind of have for the first game. So they already did so many animations, like these special moves, whatever. If they can take it up a notch, that'll be really exciting. The gameplay does actually look really interesting. I could be wrong on this because it's kind of hard to tell, but I think it's going to be based more on like quick time reaction or whatever instead of like rock, paper, scissors. If it's more interactive, where you're doing a lot more to battle against the opponent, I think that's where it's going to be fun. The closer we get to kind of like this Battle Zero gameplay, where you're doing a lot more of the interaction, it'll feel a lot less boring and repetitive. So I'm very curious to see what they can do here to expand on it. Hopefully they can do a good job, just because I feel like the first game was fine. So then after we have Leon FANG. So this comes with the game. They have stated this is like the red version, so I am assuming we're going to get some normal variants. Like I did like a little edit of it in the color scheme of the original Leon. So hopefully, I want to see what they actually do with it. I'm assuming this I don't know if it's going to be released actually as an attack type, like as the main one, or if it's going to be released as like a battle, or what's the actual final typing, because this is just video game filler, which is also why, because the other parts we'll get to, I don't care whatever they recycled on it. I believe the estimate is, I think it's like just the average ballpark, like kind of like the 29 gram or whatever, which is like fine, I guess. Now they do kind of show a little bit more. I think visually speaking, I really like the appearance of this. I think it looks really, really nice with the red and the yellow. Obviously, it's to match the protagonist in the game. I do want to say the shape and design, I don't know. Like in the video, they do showcase it basically beating up the opponent, but I attribute that to like the turn assist blade, which is probably just paired with it just to make it look a little better. If it's maybe for attack stuff, we'll see. I don't know. We definitely need like more to work with to see what it can actually do, but I don't know. It doesn't really matter. They get 460 and XL, whatever. 460 is okay, short height ratchet. XL I'm not really crazy on, so it's like, it's whatever, it's video game filler. What do you think of this future release? Are you excited for the new game and Leon FANG? Let me know. So then after we have our manga chapter, which please support the official release by Beyblade X manga or the corocoro, whatever you would like to use to read it. Shout out to Kyo for any translation notes. So this continues with Team Persona versus Misleaders, where Tenka beats the Scorpio guy. I do think what's really funny about it is that when Tenka actually does win, the Scorpio guy was misjudged because he just has like a baby face, whatever, and he was misjudged because obviously he has like this like kind of like evil appearance and everything, but he's just like, the gag is like always, well actually it's just really sweet. But then after, okay, so Persona's basically already won 2 matches, the old guy's down, and then after, what is it, the poison guy is also down. So Rance is basically like, okay, you guys already won 2 battles, you can move on ahead. But then Yoko Kiyobi basically says, hey, well actually I want my battle. If you beat me, you'll go through, but if I beat you, I win it all. Rance is like, no, that's not how it works. But then after, what I think makes it interesting for Misleaders to be here is that obviously they're basically speed running because it's a manga and it's a lot shorter. I don't even know how the anime is going to handle this. I've not seen the anime in a long time, since like the Crimson Garuda debut, which I know I should actually catch up on it, but I just don't have the time. But what she basically says is like, listen, you basically cheated because you gave them 100 stars to climb to the top, so I can report you right now, or I can get my battle. So that I thought like makes it actually at least interesting, where it's like, okay, they're pushing them very easily just to get to like to this plot point, but like there's something interesting there for the team to kind of be there. So it almost redeems itself for me thinking like this is just like pointless filler. I like this a lot. I thought this was a really, really nice writing choice that they actually did. So Yoko reveals her CX Bay and she got help from Pakkun. I was like, really funny. The Pakkun is just like blushing with everyone making the bay. So she made an attack bay because she was trying to have Pakkun recreate Multi's version of the CX system. So Yoko basically like really fucks up here because her bay is an attack type, because she assumed Multi was going to use like Wizard Arc, but Multi instead did Night Mail, which beats Fox Brush. So they all lose and Persona gets their rights to fight Zodiac at the end. So almost at a point where if they didn't introduce this thing or whatever to make it interesting for why Yoko should even battle, then I would have been like, this is really a pointless point in the story for them to actually do this. But this makes it at least interesting for these cast of characters, and I kind of like it. I guess, in a way, I don't know, I guess they're just kind of setting them up to kind of prepare them for that final battle. I do really wish that Tenka did get like a CX Saber or like another Saber, because this is no offense to Bird. I understand Bird probably just got it just because he was like a mainstay, but I don't even know if he really needed the Bay, but also I haven't seen the anime, so I don't know if the anime is setting him up a lot better than the manga. But I really want a Saber. I really want another, or not Saber, excuse me, Samurai. I'd love to see another Samurai. I assume what they're probably going to do in the final battle is probably going to be some shit where it's like, maybe they'll throw it to Bird. It'll be like Hell's Brave on like round 270 level or something. Like this combined combination of all the characters. Basically whatever that arc thing was that we got, which I don't even know how that's supposed to release. It might be lottery. I don't think they announced it yet, but I'm curious to see where this is going to lead to the finale. I'm probably going to try to force myself to watch the anime to eventually catch up, because I do want to see how much the anime and the manga differ. I have so many episodes to get. I think it's like 5 hours or something I have to get through. I want to see how they set it up, because now for these leftover chapters, I don't know how many more we're going to probably get. You have to set up the Kerbex guy, or whatever, whatever base supposed to, it's going to be Kerbex. His design literally just screamed like, I'm going to own a Kerbex homage. You have to set him up. Lance has already basically been set up, and Omega has been on like the sidelines, whatever. I want to see how they end off season 2 good, because I feel like they can. it could be make or break for the season for me. I think the season's been interesting for how they kind of set up a lot of this stuff. I feel like the Shiraboshi, like school or whatever. I have to like refresh myself, so I do want to throw out this question before we end off actually. If you just read the manga so far, what do you think of the story and how they've been setting it up leading to the finale? If you've watched the anime so far, what do you think have been the pros or cons? How do you like them like setting up everything so far till the end? How do you think about it compared to season 1? That'll be also a pretty good question. And yeah, that's kind of it. I think overall the story has been like a good read. I just want to see how they kind of wrap it up. It's going to be really fun to speculate. That's kind of it for this video, so that's about it. That's about it. All right, now get out of here.